The Galactic Empire had ruled the stars for thousands of years. Its fleets moved across the galaxy like storms, crushing resistance wherever they found it. To the Empire, Earth was nothing. A small blue planet, far from the center, with no power and no voice. They called humans backwater creatures, slow and weak, trapped in their own solar system. But the Empire was wrong. For decades, Earth had hidden a secret. Beneath the oceans, inside hollowed mountains, and deep under deserts, humans had built something no alien could imagine. A fleet. Not ordinary ships, but vessels with drives that could break the speed of light. Faster-than-light ships, silent and unseen, waiting for the day they would rise. The secret was guarded by silence. No broadcasts, no signals, no leaks. Even the Empire's spies believed Earth was still struggling with rockets and satellites. The humans played their role well. They showed weakness, they showed fear, but behind closed doors they prepared for war. The story begins when the Empire sent scouts to the edge of the solar system. Near Jupiter, a small fleet of alien ships drifted through the dark. Their commander laughed at the idea of humans resisting. "Primitive," he said. "They still burn chemicals to reach orbit. They cannot even leave their own star." His officers agreed. To them, Earth was a joke. But then, the scanners picked up something strange. A signal. Not from Earth, not from Mars, but from deep space. It was faint, hidden inside the noise of the planet's magnetic field. The commander frowned. "What is this?" he asked. His crew tried to decode it, but the signal was encrypted. It pulsed like a heartbeat, steady and strong. The Empire ships moved closer. They expected to find a broken satellite, maybe a human probe lost in orbit. Instead, they found shadows. Shapes moving in the dark. At first, they thought it was asteroids. But the shapes were too smooth, too sharp. Then lights flickered, lines of blue fire across black hulls. The commander's eyes widened. These were not rocks. These were ships. Human ships. The fleet emerged slowly, like predators rising from the deep. Sleek designs, armored hulls, engines glowing with strange energy. The Empire had never seen such ships before. They were not clumsy rockets. They were warships, built for speed and battle. The commander felt a chill. "Impossible," he whispered. "Humans cannot build this." But the proof was before him. The human fleet moved into formation. Silent, disciplined, perfect. Their weapons powered up, glowing red and white. The Empire ships locked their scanners, trying to measure the energy. The readings made no sense. The drives were beyond anything the Empire had seen. Faster-than-light engines, hidden from the galaxy. The commander realized the truth. Earth had been preparing in secret. While the Empire mocked them, humans had studied, learned, and built. They had taken wrecks from old battles, pieces of alien tech, and turned them into something new. Something dangerous. Fear spread through the Empire crew. They had come expecting weakness. Instead, they had found strength. The human admiral appeared on their screens. His face was calm, his voice steady. "Leave our system," he said. "Or face us." The Empire commander tried to laugh, but his voice shook. "You dare threaten the Empire?" he asked. The admiral did not answer. His fleet spoke for him. Engines roared, weapons locked, and the silence of space filled with tension. The Empire's ships hesitated. They had more numbers, more experience, but something felt wrong. These humans were not afraid. They were ready. The commander remembered the stories told in the Empire's halls. Stories of humans fighting with bare hands, refusing to surrender, surviving against impossible odds. He had dismissed them as myths. Now, watching the fleet rise, he wondered if the myths were true. The human ships moved closer. Their formation was tight, their discipline perfect. Every move was calculated, every signal precise. The Empire realized they were facing not a weak species, but a predator hiding in plain sight. The commander's heart raced. He had to decide, attack or retreat. His officers waited, their eyes filled with fear. Then, the human admiral spoke again. "This is your last chance." The silence stretched. The Empire's ships held position, but the tension grew heavier with every second. And then, the cliffhanger. The human fleet locked weapons. The lights across their hulls glowed brighter, engines humming with power. The Empire commander felt sweat on his hands. He knew one wrong move could start a war that would shake the galaxy. The story of Earth's hidden fleet had begun. The Empire fleet drifted closer to Earth's system, their silver hulls shining against the black of space. To them, this mission was simple. They had come to remind humans of their place. A weak species, trapped on a small planet, unable to resist the power of the stars. The commander of the Empire fleet stood tall on his bridge. His voice was cold. "We will show them fear," he said. His officers nodded. They believed this would be easy. But the humans had already prepared. Near Jupiter, the hidden fleet waited. Dozens of ships, silent and dark, their engines glowing faint blue. They had been built in secret, tested in silence, and hidden from every alien eye. Now, they were ready. The Empire ships scanned the area. At first, they saw nothing. Their sensors showed only rocks and dust. But then, the shadows moved. Shapes emerged from the dark. Smooth hulls, sharp lines, glowing drives. The commander frowned. "What is this?" he asked. His officers stared at the screens. The shapes were not asteroids. They were ships. Human ships. The fleet came alive. Engines roared, weapons powered, and formation tightened. The humans moved with discipline, every ship sliding into position like pieces of a puzzle. The Empire commander felt unease. "Impossible," he whispered. "They cannot have this technology." But the proof was before him. The human admiral appeared on the comm screen. His face was calm, his eyes steady. "This is your warning," he said. "Leave our system." The Empire officers laughed. "Primitive creatures," one said. "They think they can fight us." But the laughter faded when the human fleet locked weapons. Red lights glowed across their hulls. The silence of space grew heavy. The commander tried to sound strong. "You dare threaten the Empire?" he asked. The admiral did not answer. His fleet spoke for him. Engines hummed, weapons charged, and the humans held their ground. The Empire ships moved closer, testing the humans. Their scanners tried to measure the energy of the drives. The readings made no sense. The human engines were beyond anything the Empire had seen. Faster-than-light drives, hidden from the galaxy. Fear spread through the crew. They had come expecting weakness. Instead, they had found strength. The commander hesitated. He had more ships, more experience, but something felt wrong. These humans were not afraid. They were ready. The admiral's voice cut through the silence. "We will not bow," he said. "We will not kneel." The words echoed across the bridge. The officers shifted uneasily. They had never heard such defiance from a species so young. The human fleet moved forward. Their formation was tight, their discipline perfect. Every move was calculated, every signal precise. The Empire realized they were facing not a weak species, but a predator hiding in plain sight. The commander's heart raced. He had to decide, attack or retreat. His officers waited, their eyes filled with fear. Then, the human admiral spoke again. "This is your last chance." The silence stretched. The Empire's ships held position, but the tension grew heavier with every second. The commander remembered the stories told in the Empire's halls. Stories of humans fighting with bare hands, refusing to surrender, surviving against impossible odds. He had dismissed them as myths. Now, watching the fleet rise, he wondered if the myths were true. The human ships glowed brighter. Their weapons hummed with power. The Empire commander felt sweat on his hands. He knew one wrong move could start a war that would shake the galaxy. His officers whispered. "Commander, what do we do?" He stared at the screen. The admiral's eyes were steady, unblinking. The fleet behind him was silent, waiting. The commander swallowed hard. He had never felt fear like this. Not from rebels, not from rivals, not from anyone. But these humans, they were different. The tension grew. Every second felt like an hour. The silence of space pressed down on them. And then, the cliffhanger. The human fleet advanced. Their weapons locked, their engines roared, and the Empire ships felt the weight of history pressing upon them. The commander realized the truth. This was not a simple mission. This was the beginning of something greater. The galaxy was about to change. The Empire fleet held its position near Jupiter. Their commander stared at the human ships, his mind racing. He had expected weakness, but what he saw was power. The humans had ships with faster-than-light drives. Sleek, silent, dangerous. It was impossible. Or so he thought. The human admiral stood on the bridge of his flagship. His eyes were calm, but inside him burned years of preparation. He knew this moment would come. The Empire had always looked down on Earth. They believed humans were slow, fragile, and trapped. But the truth was different. Decades ago, Earth had found something. A wreck. An alien ship that had fallen near the edge of the solar system. Broken, forgotten, but filled with secrets. Humans studied it in silence. They learned from its engines, its weapons, its strange alloys. Piece by piece, they built something new. The governments of Earth united in secret. Old rivals set aside their differences. Scientists worked underground, hidden from satellites and spies. Factories were built under oceans, inside mountains, and deep in deserts. Every part of the fleet was hidden from alien eyes. The admiral remembered those years. The silence. The secrecy. The sacrifices. Thousands of workers lived and died without ever speaking of what they built. Families were told nothing. Even the people of Earth believed they were still weak. But behind the curtain, humanity was preparing. Now, the curtain had lifted. The Empire commander tried to understand. "How?" he whispered. His officers had no answer. Their scanners showed drives that bent space, weapons that burned brighter than stars, and armor that resisted every probe. The human admiral spoke again. His voice was steady. "We are not what you think. We are not weak. We are not blind. We are ready." The words echoed across the Empire ships. Officers shifted nervously. They had never heard such defiance from a species so young. The commander clenched his fists. "You cannot stand against the Empire," he said. His voice shook. The admiral's eyes narrowed. "We already do." The silence of space grew heavy. The human fleet held formation, their weapons glowing. The Empire's ships hesitated. They had more numbers, more experience, but something felt wrong. These humans were not afraid. They were waiting. The commander remembered the stories told in the Empire's halls. Stories of humans fighting with bare hands, refusing to surrender, surviving against impossible odds. He had dismissed them as myths. Now, watching the fleet rise, he wondered if the myths were true. The admiral turned to his officers. "Send the message," he said. A signal pulsed across the void. Simple words, clear and sharp, leave our system, or face us. The Empire commander felt his chest tighten. No species had ever spoken to the Empire like that. Not the rebels, not the rivals, not the conquered. Only humans. The officers whispered. "Commander, what do we do?" He stared at the screen. The admiral's face was calm, unblinking. The fleet behind him was silent, waiting. The commander swallowed hard. He had never felt fear like this. Not from rebels, not from rivals, not from anyone. But these humans, they were different. The tension grew. Every second felt like an hour. The silence of space pressed down on them. The admiral's voice cut through the silence. "We will not bow," he said. "We will not kneel." The words struck like thunder. The Empire commander felt sweat on his hands. He knew one wrong move could start a war that would shake the galaxy. His officers looked at him, waiting for orders. Attack or retreat? Fight or flee? The commander's heart raced. He had to decide. But before he spoke, the human fleet moved. Engines roared, weapons locked, and formation tightened. The admiral's eyes burned with resolve. "This is our home," he said. "We will defend it." The Empire's ships froze. They had never seen such courage. They had never faced such defiance. The commander realized the truth. This was not a simple mission. This was the beginning of something greater. The galaxy was about to change. The silence of space broke when the Empire commander gave his order. "Advance," he said. His voice was sharp, but inside his chest was fear. The Empire ships moved forward, their weapons glowing. They believed humans were bluffing. They believed no young species could stand against them. But the humans were ready. The hidden fleet near Jupiter came alive. Engines roared, drives burned bright blue, and weapons locked into place. The formation tightened. Every ship moved like a predator, silent and precise. The admiral stood tall on his bridge. His eyes were calm, but his heart carried the weight of Earth. "Hold formation," he said. His officers obeyed without hesitation. The first shots came from the Empire. Beams of red light cut across the void, fast and deadly. Missiles streaked forward, leaving trails of fire. The humans did not flinch. Their ships twisted, engines bending space, moving faster than the Empire expected. The beams missed. The missiles exploded in empty dark. Then the humans struck back. Lasers burned from their hulls, sharp and white. Missiles launched in silence, guided by hidden codes. The Empire ships shook under the impact. Shields flared, armor cracked, and officers screamed. The commander's eyes widened. "Impossible," he whispered. "They fight like veterans." The battle grew fierce. Every second was chaos. Empire ships fired in rage, but the humans moved with discipline. Their tactics were sharp, their timing perfect. They fought not like a young species, but like warriors who had studied war for centuries. One Empire cruiser exploded, its hull breaking apart in fire. Another spun out of control, engines failing. The commander felt his stomach twist. He had never seen his fleet fall so fast. The admiral's voice echoed across his bridge. "Stay sharp," he said. "No mistakes." His officers nodded. Their hands moved quickly, guiding weapons, adjusting shields, calculating maneuvers. The human fleet was not just strong, it was clever. The Empire tried to regroup. "Form line," the commander shouted. His ships moved into formation, but the humans were faster. They bent space, jumping short distances, appearing behind the Empire line. Weapons fired again. Another cruiser fell. Fear spread through the Empire fleet. Officers whispered, "They are too fast. They are too strong." The commander clenched his fists. "Fight," he shouted. But his voice shook. The humans pressed harder. Their ships moved like hunters, circling, striking, vanishing, and striking again. Every move was precise. Every shot was deadly. The Empire realized they were not facing a weak species. They were facing predators. The clash grew louder. Explosions lit the dark. Fire spread across broken hulls. The silence of space was filled with destruction. The Admiral watched calmly. His eyes burned with resolve. "Push forward," he said. His fleet obeyed. The Empire flagship tried to hold. Its shields flared, its weapons fired, but the humans surrounded it. Engines roared, drives bent space, and missiles locked on. The flagship shook under the impact. Its armor cracked, its engines failed. The commander felt sweat on his hands. His flagship was dying. He had never faced such fear. He had never faced such power. The Admiral's voice cut through the silence. "Surrender," he said. The commander's officers looked at him. Their eyes were filled with fear. "Commander," they whispered. "We cannot win." The commander's heart raced. He had to decide, fight to the end or surrender. His pride screamed for battle, but his fear whispered retreat. The human fleet held position. Their weapons glowed, their engines roared, but they did not fire the final shot. They waited. The commander realized the truth. The humans were not just strong. They were merciful. They had the power to destroy, but they chose to wait. The clash slowed. The Empire's ships drifted, broken and burning. The humans stood tall, their fleet shining against the dark. The Admiral's words echoed once more. "This is our home. We will defend it." The commander lowered his head. He had never felt such defeat. He had never faced such defiance. The battle was over, but the war had just begun. The battle near Jupiter had shaken the stars. The Empire fleet, proud and powerful, now drifted broken and silent. Human ships surrounded them, engines glowing, weapons locked. The clash was over, but the tension was not. On the bridge of the Empire flagship, smoke filled the air. Officers shouted, trying to control failing systems. Shields were gone, engines were dead, and weapons were useless. The commander stood frozen, his pride shattered. He had believed humans were weak. Now, he saw the truth. The human admiral appeared on the comm screen. His voice was calm, steady, and sharp. "Surrender," he said. "Your fleet is finished." The commander's officers looked at him with fear. "We cannot fight," they whispered. "We cannot win." The commander clenched his fists. His pride screamed for battle, but his heart knew the truth. If he ordered another attack, his fleet would be destroyed. He swallowed hard. "We yield," he said. His voice was broken. But the humans did not fire. The admiral gave a simple order. "Disable their flagship. Do not destroy it." The human fleet moved with precision. Missiles locked, lasers burned, but every shot was careful. They cut engines, broke weapons, and silenced shields. The flagship shook, but it did not explode. The humans had chosen mercy. The Empire commander stared at the screen. "Why?" he asked. "Why spare US?" The admiral's eyes narrowed. "Mercy is power," he said. "We fight to defend, not to conquer." The word struck deep. The commander had never heard such defiance mixed with honor. The Empire crushed enemies, burned worlds, and ruled by fear. But these humans, they fought with strength and mercy. The galaxy would never forget this moment. News spread quickly. Across the stars, whispers grew. "Earth has a fleet," they said. "Earth has faster-than-light ships." Species that had once mocked humans now watched with awe. The balance of power was shifting. On Earth, people cheered. For years, they had lived in silence, unaware of the hidden fleet. Now, they saw their defenders rise. The secret was revealed, and humanity stood tall. But the admiral knew the war was not over. Reports came in. A massive Empire fleet was on the way. Hundreds of ships, larger and stronger, moving fast toward the solar system. The clash near Jupiter was only the beginning. The admiral turned to his officers. "Prepare," he said. This was the first wave. "The storm is coming." His officers nodded. Their faces were calm, but their hearts carried the weight of Earth. They knew the next battle would decide everything. The Empire commander, broken and defeated, listened in silence. He realized the truth. The humans had not only beaten his fleet, they had changed the galaxy. If Earth could build ships in secret, what else could they do? Fear spread through the Empire. Leaders whispered in their halls. If humans can hide fleets, they can hide armies. If they can build drives, they can build weapons. If they can fight, they can lead. The commander lowered his head. He had underestimated them. Now, he understood. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was dangerous. The admiral's voice echoed once more. "We will defend our home. We will defend our people. And we will not bow." The words carried across the stars. The galaxy listened. The Empire trembled. The turning point had come. The humans had shown strength. They had shown mercy. And now, they stood ready for the storm that was coming. The commander closed his eyes. He knew the next battle would decide the future. He whispered to himself, "The galaxy will never be the same." And in the silence of space, the human fleet waited. Engines glowing, weapons locked, hearts burning with resolve. The war was not over. It had only begun. The solar system was quiet after the battle near Jupiter. Broken Empire ships drifted in silence, their hulls glowing faint red from damage. Human ships stood tall, engines burning blue, weapons locked but calm. The clash was over, but the war was not. On the bridge of the human flagship, the admiral looked out into the dark. His eyes were steady, but his mind carried the weight of what had happened. Humanity had revealed its secret. The hidden fleet was no longer hidden. The galaxy now knew the truth. Across the stars, whispers spread. Traitors, smugglers, and spies carried the news. "Earth has faster-than-light ships," they said. "Earth has defeated the Empire." Species that had once mocked humans now spoke with awe. The balance of power was shifting. In the halls of the Empire, fear grew. Leaders argued, voices sharp and angry. "If humans can build fleets in secret, what else can they build?" one asked. "If they can fight, they can lead," another whispered. The Empire had ruled by fear for thousands of years. Now, for the first time, they felt fear themselves. The defeated commander of the First Fleet sat in silence. His pride was gone, his voice broken. He remembered the battle, the precision of the human ships, the mercy of the admiral. "Mercy is power," the admiral had said. The words echoed in his mind. He realized the truth. The humans were not only strong, they were dangerous because they chose when to strike and when to spare. On Earth, people cheered. For years, they had lived unaware of the secret fleet. Now, they saw their defenders rise. The blue planet was no longer weak. It was a fortress. Humanity stood tall. But the admiral knew the storm was coming. Reports arrived from deep space. A massive Empire fleet was on the way. Hundreds of ships, larger and stronger, moving fast toward the solar system. The battle near Jupiter was only the beginning. The admiral turned to his officers. "Prepare," he said. "This is not the end. This is the start." His officers nodded. Their faces were calm, but their hearts carried the weight of Earth. They knew the next battle would decide everything. The human fleet moved into silence. Engines roared, weapons locked, and formation tightened. They were ready. The galaxy watched. Species across the stars held their breath. Some hoped humans would win. Others feared what victory would mean. But all agreed on one thing: the galaxy would never be the same. The Empire fleet entered the edge of the solar system. Hundreds of ships, shining silver, weapons glowing red. They came like a storm, fast and deadly. The admiral stood tall. His eyes burned with resolve. "Hold formation," he said. The clash was about to begin. But then, something unexpected happened. The human fleet did not wait. Engines roared, drives bent space, and ships jumped forward. They moved not with fear, but with confidence. They struck first. Lasers burned, missiles launched, and the Empire ships shook under the impact. The galaxy gasped. No species had ever dared to strike the Empire first. But humans did. The battle was chaos. Explosions lit the dark, fire spread across broken hulls, and silence turned into destruction. The Empire fought hard, but the humans fought harder. Their tactics were sharp, their timing perfect. They moved like predators, circling, striking, vanishing, and striking again. The admiral's voice echoed across his bridge. "Push forward," he said. His fleet obeyed. The Empire flagship tried to hold. Its shields flared, its weapons fired, but the humans surrounded it. Engines roared, drives bent space, and missiles locked on. The flagship shook under the impact. Its armor cracked, its engines failed. The commander of the Second Fleet felt fear. He had never faced such defiance. He realized the truth. The humans were not just fighting for survival. They were fighting for the future. The clash grew louder. Explosions lit the void. Fire spread across broken ships. The silence of space was filled with destruction. And then, the turning point. The human fleet did not destroy the flagship. They disabled it, just as before. Mercy again. The admiral's voice echoed. "We fight to defend, not to conquer." The galaxy trembled. The Empire had been struck twice, and twice the humans had chosen mercy. Strength and honor together. It was something the galaxy had never seen. The battle ended. The Empire retreated, broken and silent. The humans stood tall, their fleet shining against the dark. The admiral looked out into space. His eyes were calm, but his voice carried power. The galaxy will never underestimate humanity again. The word spread across the stars. The shockwave was complete. Earth was no longer a backwater world. Earth was a power.